I was able to gain over 50k Twitter followers and over 100 million views in 1 year. And in this video I'm going to explain exactly how you can get to 50k Twitter followers as fast as possible. And we do this by optimizing the follower funnel. So this is the process that people go through from stranger to follower. And there are 3 core parts of this. And if you optimize these, then you will outgrow 99% of people. And the first step is optimizing your profile, because people can only become followers when they click on your profile and when they hit the follow button. So for this, we need to optimize your profile. There are a few important things that you need to be doing for this. First of all, you need to optimize your name and you need to get a blue tick. So it either needs to be your name, in my case Noorman, or it needs to be a brand name. And don't add a lot of numbers or underscores, because it doesn't look professional and it makes it more likely that people will forget your handle or that they will misspell it. And also get a blue tick. It's like dressing well for your work. You don't need it to perform well, but when you do it, it shows that you're serious and it looks more professional. And it also gives you some additional benefits, like a boosted search rank, a boosted comment rank, and the ability to write articles and long forms. And also make sure that you follow less people than that you have followers. So those are some tiny things that you can optimize, but the most important thing is your profile picture. Your profile picture needs to be clean and it needs to have your brand colors in it. And ideally you either have a confident look or a smiling look. Those tend to do the best. I recommend just picking a profile picture that you like and creating your own version of it. In my case, I liked Andrew Huberman's profile picture, so I created something similar. Then next up we have your banner. So please don't overcomplicate this. I spent weeks on picking my banner and I changed it dozens of times, but the truth is that it just doesn't really matter. You want to pick something that either gives off your vibe, that tells a little bit about what you do, that shows something that you're working on, or that builds authority. Here's an example of showing something that you're working on. Here's an example of building authority by showing a little bit of social proof. And here's just a simple example of text. It can really be as simple as this. So please just don't overcomplicate this. Go to Canva, create a banner, add text to the banner or add a brand slogan to the banner, and then just download it and upload it. That's everything that you need to do. You don't need to overcomplicate it. So that brings us to the next part, and this is your bio. And this one is very important because if this isn't clear, then people don't know why they should follow you. And if they don't quickly understand why they should follow you, so what's in it for them, then they'll click away and they won't follow you. So to ensure that this doesn't happen, you need to include 4 things here. The first one is what you do. So what do you help people with? Why should they care about following you? People act out of self-interest, so you need to make it clear why it's in their best interest to follow you. So ideally, you want to explain this simply and clearly in the first sentence of your bio. Then you explain how you do it. Or in my case, you can mention the topics that you use to help people with the thing that you do. So for example, I use writing to help people to grow their X business, because they need to write content, sales pages and emails. Then you clarify who you help. So in this case I have you, which isn't the best, but I help people who are interested in growing their X business. So this is already niche down. So I try to keep it a little bit more broad here. But I could, for example, also include helping entrepreneurs to grow their X business. That would probably be even better. And then we have some social proof and a call to action. So in my case, I've included the amount of clients that I've helped and the amount of newsletter readers that I have. Adding social proof will improve your credibility. And then after this, I have 2 links where they can get more help from me. So the first one is a course, which you can by the way also check out in the description. And the second one is a link to my free newsletter. So if people like your content and your profile and they're curious to find out more, then they can find out more via the links that you add there. And this is also a great way to get sales on autopilot. So that's it for your profile. If you optimize this, then you will convert the traffic that you're getting into followers. But now we still have the problem of actually getting the traffic to our profile. And that's what the second part is about. It's about the content strategy that we use. So the content that we post, when we post it and how we post it. Before I tell you exactly what to post, I want to first talk a little bit about something that I call scientific tweeting. So this is basically the approach that we take to tweeting. We don't just randomly post and then see how it performs and then post again. No, we take a more scientific approach to it. And we do this by first researching what performs well. Then we make a hypothesis. So this basically means that we make a prediction about what we think will work. Then we experiment, so we test it. Then we get results, then we analyze those results, and if our results are bad, then we stop doing it, and if they're good, then we keep doing it. And when you create like this, you will actually start improving your content, because a lot of people don't do this, and as a result, their content doesn't really get better, because they keep doing what doesn't work, and they aren't doubling down on what works. And this is what I also did in the first year or so, and because of that, I left a lot of growth on the table. Here's a visual to kind of illustrate the importance of this. When you post 3 times per day, which is what I recommend at the start, You probably have one tweet that does well in the first week, and this may not sound like a lot, but if you actually follow the scientific tweeting system, then you can use this to quickly improve. Because in the second week, you know what did well and you know what didn't do well in the first week. So you can take this data and you can use it to create your content for the second week. And when you do, you probably get multiple tweets that do well. And then in the third week, you do this again, but this time you have more content that did perform well in the last week, and you also have more content that didn't do well. So we have more insights on what did and what didn't do well. And based on that, you can make better predictions about what content will perform. And then in the fourth week, you repeat this again. And you keep doing this every single week. And as a result, your content will keep getting better. In every week, you just see the tweets as data points. And if it isn't helping you to grow faster or to make more money, then you stop posting it. But if it does get good results, then you keep posting it. And you also try to find new ways of taking what worked and turning it into something new that also has potential to work. So now that you understand the process, let's talk about when to post and what to post. So this is my content schedule. I don't recommend you copy it, but feel free to copy it if you want to. If you're just starting out, or if you don't have a lot of followers yet, then I would start with this. Because there's one other thing that you need to be spending more time on to grow faster, but we'll get to that strategy in a minute. For now, it's enough to know that you should post 3 times per day. I highly recommend using Hype Fury for this, link in the bio, because it allows you to schedule your content. So you can just schedule it once a week, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. And it also allows you to schedule your own reposts and unreposts. So the repost will boost your tweet, and then the unrepost will delete the retweet later, so that your timeline stays clean. This is a very useful feature. That brings us to what you should post. And the types of content that we use are growth content and credibility content. The goal of growth content is to gain followers, and the goal of credibility content is to make money. So let me show you 3 types of content for both of these. The first one are contrast posts. This is basically a 2-liner tweet where you take 2 opposites and use it to make an idea clear. So in this case, nobody is good at the start and nobody is bad after this amount of attempts. So we have good and bad, and we have the starts and a lot of attempts. The second one is logical change. So this makes people feel smart because you show them how certain topics are connected. In this case, we link making money to building skills. So to make money, you need to create value. To create value, you need to solve problems. To solve problems, you need to build skills. So the end of the first sentence is the start of the second one, and the end of the second one is the start of the third one. And in this way, you show how the concepts or the ideas are connected. The next one is an educational list. So this is just a list with valuable tips. And the tips must be something that your ideal reader cares about. So in my case, people want to grow, so I give a list with tips on how to grow faster. It can be as simple as that. Then we have social hacking posts. So at the start, people don't really care about you. Even later, people also don't care about you, but especially at the start. So you need to find a way around that. And one way to do that is with social hacking. This is where you write about the best ideas of a popular person in your niche. And the reason this does well is because people don't have to care about you in order to care about a post from a popular person and their best ideas. So you basically borrow their authority, and people also start to associate you with their ideas. In my case, people didn't have to care about me in order to care about a post of Marcus Aurelius' best ideas. They only have to care about his best ideas. And if they care about that, then they will read it. So this is why this is a great post to grow at the start. You don't want to overuse this one, because we still want to be known for our ideas. But at the start, it can be useful to get the ball rolling. Then we have deep dives. This is where you write about a certain topic that your ideal follower is interested in. Then you just give a complete deep dive on the topic. So you explain everything that you know about it in a concise and simple way. And you can do this in an article, a thread, or a long form, just like the social hacking post. And then we have authority posts. Authority posts are basically posts that build up your authority. And they build up your authority by giving people useful advice about a topic that you're an expert in. So this is also the topic that your ideal follower wants to learn more about. And by giving them good ideas on the topic and sharing what you know, they start to see you more as an expert, and this will increase trust and build up your credibility. There are way more posts that you can use, but those are some of the best ones. But if you want all of my best content types and my entire growth system, you can check out the free Twitter simplified ebook or the X growth system. And if you're a high-level business owner who wants to get to 50k followers and 100 million organic views in less than 1 hour per day, you can DM me on Twitter. So that's it for the content. But there's one big problem with content, and this is that at the start, our content doesn't really get a lot of views, because you're basically stuck in beginner hell until you get above a certain threshold. Unfortunately, that's just how it is, but there is a way around this, and this way is with comments. We can leave comments, and when our comment is good, it will get us profile clicks and more followers. And this is the single best way to get the ball rolling at the start. You need to leave a lot of quality comments, and when you do this, you will grow much faster. I recommend making a list of 100 people, 20% big creators, because the big creators get more views. So if your comment on their post does well, they can get a lot of profile clicks and followers from it. But 80% small creators, because this is more useful at the start. Because big creators aren't going to comment back on your stuff. So that's why you want to follow a lot of small creators and basically comment on each other's stuff, so that you both get the ball rolling. So that you both escape beginner hell together. Because if you have 40 people like this, then this means that you get 40 comments on your post, and because of that, you get a lot more views, and more people will start viewing and commenting on your stuff. And this is how you escape beginner hell and start growing fast at the start. So here's what I want you to do. I don't just want you to watch this video and then procrastinate. I want you to actually optimize your profile, tweet 3 times per day, 2 growth tweets and 1 credibility tweet, create your comment list and set it up in X Pro, and leave 50 quality comments per day. And if you want my help, check out the X Growth system or DM me on X. Now, we already talked about the importance of comments, but there's actually a very specific way in which you need to leave comments. Because if you leave comments on the timeline, it's very inefficient, because the timeline isn't chronological. There are a lot of reposts and likes in between. And you also sometimes get old posts that aren't really useful to comment on anymore. So that's why you need to comment in a very specific way. And when you start doing this, you can basically leave over 50k quality comments in only 30 minutes per day. And this can result in hundreds or even thousands of new followers per month. So check out this video next. It explains exactly how to do this, so that you can gain over 50k followers on Twitter in the next year or so.